What's up, everyone? We are back, episode 7 of the Twins Out of the Park Baseball 24 playthrough. And we start the episode with some great news. So, Carlos Correa, if you remember, went down very early in the season, only 8 games in, broke his elbow, was supposed to be out for 5 months, I believe. I could actually check that. 6 months. So, that put his return at deep in the playoffs. However, I just got news that he's about 3 weeks ahead of schedule. We'll be back in 5 weeks. So this puts us at, if we look at the schedule, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll be back mid-September. I'll probably give him a rehab assignment if it's that early. But, I mean, this is huge news. The team has been playing valiantly without him. As you can see, we've been on a pretty good run here. We swept this doubleheader. We went on this massive win streak. Throughout, honestly, the month of July was crazy for us. 16-9 that month, which really pushed us back into contention. We're 4-2 so far in August, and we're about a game and a half out of first place from the Guardians. So if we add Carlos Correa back in and we get healthy and we're good for the playoffs, this team could honestly make a good run because we're really missing him right now, especially because Shoemake just went out for a couple weeks. He probably could have played through it, but this was his hitting, throwing, and running was enough that I was more comfortable giving that to another guy. So Brooks Lee's starting at short right now. And then Placencia, Palencia. Oh my God. I will never get that right. He's been playing second base every day. DJ moved over to third. Miranda just came back, so we threw him in there. And Emmanuel Rodriguez, he's starting to hit better. And if we can get some production out of him, this lineup looks pretty scary. Because honestly, our average on-base percentage, OPS, WOBA, and home runs, they're not that bad. But somehow we're 12th in runs scored. Maybe something to do with our 12th in base running. And our pitching's been bad. So if we're able to, regress or progress to the mean, I think we could be a lot better. Joe Ryan's been so much better than he was early in the year. He's back in the rotation. This is actually messed up. Bailey Ober just made a spot start there. So yeah, the rotation's looking a lot better. I almost swung a deal to get Logan Webb. But, they just wanted too much for a rental. And so I felt more comfortable just rolling with these guys, not really mortgaging the future for this season. So yeah, we're looking pretty good moving through August and into September. So we'll update when something exciting happens. All right, so we're going to jump back in September 16th, and Carlos Correa is back. Went on a 5-game rehab assignment, absolutely killed it. So he's back in the lineup, starting at shortstop today against Milwaukee. And we have moved to 80-63, so a huge second half has propelled us to a 4.5-game lead on the Guardians, 10.5 up on the Tigers, and 2 games up on the first wild card if we were to slip to that. So mostly been led by our offense. We have really turned it around. The pitching's been much better too, led by Nola and Fried and Cole Henry of all people, who wasn't even in the rotation to start the year. He's been incredible. Honestly, he may be our best pitcher this season. Fried and Nola probably pitched more innings, but Henry is getting up there now, so he's been outstanding. Bailey Ober and Joe Ryan I currently have as followers. I'm not a huge opener guy, but these guys, we need some length, and we don't really have a 4th and 5th starter right now. So I'm asking Connor Phillips, who one of our top pitching prospects, had a really good year in AAA, and Alejandro Hidalgo, who's number 80 prospect in baseball. I'm asking them to open games for these two. So, and the bullpen's turned it around. Henchiges has been much better in the second half. Efros has continued to pitch really, really well. Hernandez has been good. Moran and Duran have kind of scuffled, especially Duran. Definitely not the season he had last year, but War-wise, he's been really good. Our war, not as good. Maybe due to this like really high BABIP compared to last year. But I think last year was more of an anomaly because 252 BABIP is pretty damn low. But maybe he's probably in between that as a pitcher. So, and he still has 38 saves, whatever. Moran's been not as impressive, walking too many guys, way more than last year, and but he's been fine. Whatever. This is the bullpen. I'm not worried about anymore. Keegan Aiken will probably be non-tender at the end of the year. I had a feeling there'd be some regression there, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. So yeah. But he'll stick around as a long reliever, mop-up guy. Sehwan Huang. I hate pronouncing names. He wasn't really having a great season. He got off to a good start, but I pushed him into the bullpen. He's not really fully developed. He probably shouldn't have been starting this year for me. And yeah, I mean, the strikeout to walk's not really there. So we're going to push him to the bullpen for the rest of the year, see what happens with him, and move on from there. Also, I'm going to lower pitch count for these guys. Yeah, so we're looking pretty good heading into the home stretch here. We have about, what is that, 19 games left? Something like that, 19. And yeah, we will update probably at the end of the season, unless, it gets close, but we'll see about that. Also, I'd just like to add, I kind of trusted the offense to turn it around in this, in the second half of the year. My only trade deadline acquisition was Christian Vasquez, and he's been awesome. Been worth 0.5 WAR in just 30 games as a catcher. WRC plus about league average for a hitter overall, but for a catcher that's way above average. And he brings good defense. Him and David Garcia, of all people, wasn't even on my opening day roster, wasn't really on my radar. I signed him as a minor league free agent. And, just as catching depth as a 25-year-old. And all he's done is WRC plus 118 and put up over 1 WAR in only 40 starts. So yeah, he's probably not this kind of hitter. His BABIP's a little high for his hitting profile, but, if he's walking 10% of the time and playing acceptable defense, I'm cool with that. So these guys are trading off every day. Also, Jose Miranda's been delegated to the bench. And yeah, this is my lineup I'm rolling out there. I kind of like it. There's a good left-right mix. A lot of switch hitters in here. And Manuel Rodriguez moves to the bench for the time being. I liked what I saw out of him, but we're trying to win down the stretch here, and I think I gave him a pretty good run. So I'm happy with him. He'll be backing up in the outfield for now, but yeah, just wanted to update on that because also first round pick, 17th overall from last season. Carson DiMartini has obliterated every level he's been at. He got off to a slow start in Double-A and started ripping the cover off the ball, promoted him to Triple-A, and he's been amazing. So, yeah, he's moving to first base, and the OSA is in love with him. My scout still likes him a lot, and he's cut down his strikeout rate in Triple-A dramatically. So if he's able to, keep building on that, that would be a huge first-round pick for us at number 17. After a guy like Chase Dollander kind of, I don't know, I think he's in high A right now. Yeah, he kind of busted already. So, unfortunate, but, I mean, you're not going to hit on all these picks. 5th overall, whatever. If I can go back, I'd probably do it again. Just because there really wasn't anything else that I liked for college guys. So, very disappointing how that ended, but yeah, we'll move forward. And we got a good pick with our 17th the following year. So yeah. Really quick, let's just go through the draft this year. I forgot to do this last episode. Yeah, we wound up taking the Zach Cauer guy, and yeah, I should probably promote him to high A. Kind of been slacking on the promotions. But yeah, he's crushed A-ball. It looks like my scout was right about him because the OSA is updated and they're pretty high on him too. So yeah, he probably will be in the running to make the team next year. We took this guy Pico Khan, who has been pretty good in rookie ball, 22-year-old. We'll just run through a couple of these picks. This guy, Yeah, it wasn't a terribly impressive draft class. I like this guy because his defense and speed, and he hasn't been bad in rookie ball. I don't think I remember anyone else being that interesting. Yeah, this wasn't a great draft, but I think we nailed Zach Hauer with the 33rd overall pick. So there you go. Also, Justin Best from our first draft class kind of stalled out in A-ball. I mean, he's still young, but, this draft isn't really looking too great at the moment. Teddy McGraw might be our one saving grace because he's been really good this season as a 23-year-old. And, yeah, I think that's... Oh, this guy, Cody Schreier, he's been on my radar. Kind of has, he's kind of like DeMartini light, I'd say. Same build, but probably can play a little more infield. And yeah, he made it up to Double-A, so impressive on his part there. And any other notable guys here? I guess like Drew Bowser is up to High A, which played really well there. And yeah, so whatever. That's just an update on the draft classes because I forgot to go over that. And yeah, we'll get back. All right, we're back. Start of the playoffs, and right at the end of the year, Max Fried in kind of a meaningless game. Not really. We were still fighting for the best record in the league, but we had clinched the division at this point. But he went down for dead arm, was out for 3 weeks, still a week and a half left on the injury, so he'll probably be out for this Baltimore series and maybe the start of the next series if we make it that far. But we did wind up having the best record in the AL at 94-68. No one else had more than 91. So it looks like the NL has kind of dominated the save, I've noticed. Dodgers and Diamondbacks both had more wins, as well as the Cardinals, and the Mets were right there too. So we wound up finishing 5th in runs scored and 4th in runs against. And if you saw our mid-season and like our early season rankings and this stuff, like we kind of came a long way as a team. Carlos Correa came back and like put the team on his back. He had an awesome 20 games or so. Wound up finishing with 1.6 WAR in just those 26 games, and an inflated BABIP, but a 153 WRC plus, as well as playing a good shortstop. He like turned our team completely like into a stud squad. So yeah, Brooks Lee move over to the left, and he was much better out there, I think. Ideally, we don't have another injury, so I can keep him out there, but it seems like he always finds his way in the infield. So yeah, I guess it's not a bad thing. Buxton had a really nice season. Wallner was okay, not as good as his previous two. Palencia, I'm just going to call him that, Palencia. No, it's probably not how you say it, but whatever. He had a really nice season. DJ, really good year over at playing mostly first. His rating dipped a little bit, but I'm still happy with what he looks like coming into the postseason. Vasquez was awesome for us, and Shoemake was like the unsung hero of the season. Filled in for Correa, WRC plus of 92, played an awesome shortstop, 10.2 ZR, and not as good over at third, but I'm kind of forced to put him there, and 2.8 WAR and 20 steals. So the other guys who make the postseason rosters, Emmanuel Rodriguez. Mostly because I like his pop off the bench, and he's able to draw a walk when we need him to, and he can back up the outfield. Mason Auer also makes it, maybe a surprise, but I love his speed. He can pinch run if we really need him to. Jose Miranda makes it, mostly just to have a bat out there that can, get me a hit when I need to. And then David Garcia as our backup catcher kind of fell off at the end of the year, so he won't be starting, but I'm sure he'll get into a couple games here or there. Pinch hitters, probably do that. And then against the lefties, we'll have Miranda, Rodriguez as well. So our rotation set up with Nola to start game 1 in Baltimore against Spencer Arrighetti, if that stays true. Looks like it will. And then I'm having Joe Ryan start game 2. He was really good down the stretch. Been burned by this dude so many times. I don't even want to, I don't know. I probably shouldn't trust him at this point, but I'm going to roll with him. He had a really nice stretch to end the year. He's going to follow either Phillips or Hidalgo. And I have Cole Henry starting game 3, mostly, to have Joe Ryan break up these bullpen games. He was awesome. So I normally he'd start number 2, but I need to have these guys as followers because Bailey Ober was also really good down the stretch as the follower. And he'll I don't love this rotation coming in. Slotting Max Fried in for either Ober or Ryan would make this a big difference, but we're gonna have to roll with it. So let's do it. Just checking out on Mercedes. Yeah, he's still rated 80 potential, but he's bottomed out here at I just put him in high A, just to see what he can do, and yeah, he was just as bad. So whatever. Just completely off topic. I just wanted to check how he was doing. But all right, game 1 here in Minnesota. We lose 3-0. That sucks because we're kind of counting on game 1. And Arrighetti looks like he pitched pretty well, and the bullpen did its job. Offense didn't do much. Vasquez had a couple hits. LeMahieu with a hit and Lee with a hit, but no runs. Game 2 in Minnesota. And we win 5-4, so we win the one I wasn't expecting to, and that's huge. Hidalgo looks like he went 2 to start, and then Ryan followed with an okay but not good performance. And then the bullpen did its job. Buxton with a couple ribbies, looks like Palencia and Buxton both had 2-run shots. So there we go. We will head to Baltimore for Game 3. Cole Henry on the mound against Brandon Woodruff, who had a really nice year for Baltimore. And we win 5-1. That's huge. So it looks like Shoemake had, he had a 2-run shot. Palencia had a 2-run shot as well. And Vasquez another hit. Wallner a couple of hits. The top of the order hasn't done much this year, this postseason. Mostly Polanco and Correa. But Henry has an awesome start. Love to see that from the young fella. And the pen does its job again. So we will head to Baltimore for Game 4. Up 2-1. Looking to close out the series. And we lose 2-0. So LeMahieu, a couple hits, but nothing really else going on. Hidalgo did his job, and then Ober pitched pretty well, but no runs. That's not going to do it. So here we go. Rematch of Game 1. Back in Minnesota, Aaron Nola trying to send us to the ALCS. And we win 6-5 in 11 innings on a walk-off walk by Jorge Polanco, of all people, after he had such a bad series. And looks like, oh my God, no way. Emmanuel Rodriguez had a couple ribbies and a pinch hit at bat. Wow. Love to see that from the young fella. Get him some confidence. And then it looks like they pinch hit Auer. It's an interesting choice by my manager. But that's huge. Nola pitched okay, not really the too well. And then Duran went 3 innings, blew the save, and kept going. Looks like he blew it in the 9th. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, never mind. Okay, so he blew it, and we tied it up. Wow, so we tied it up in the 9th on a... Oh, my God. So this is an Emmanuel Rodriguez game-tying 2-run double in the bottom of the 9th off Felix Bautista, their closer. That's incredible. You can't make that up. So that's awesome. We will head to LA. Max Fried should be back for next game. So we'll have to make a quick change in the playoff roster. Did Huang even pitch in that series? Yeah, so I'm going to remove Huang from the playoff roster. Although maybe it should be like, whatever. So let's add Fried. Go like this. Activate from injured list. And my goodness. Add to playoff roster. So he'll start game 2. And it looks like we're going to have to go with Joe Ryan or Cole Henry for game 1. We'll probably roll with Cole Henry. Bailey Ober was good, probably better than Joe Ryan. So we'll run with Bailey Ober. Joe Ryan will be like, he could still pitch ball out of the bullpen, I'd imagine. So Cole Henry in game 1. We'll do Fried in game 2. See if Nola is good for game 3. I doubt it. If not, we'll do Ober game 3. So we're playing LA. And they still got Ohtani, still got Trout, still got Taylor Ward, and old friend Nick Gordon as well, looking to get his revenge after being traded about 2.5 years ago at the deadline. For what turns out, looks like it's not really going to work out for us. Eric Torres was a nice return. Denzer Guzman, he still has a shot to make it, but he's kind of, cratered in Double-A. It still could be something, but probably not the player we thought we were getting. Felix Morabel still down in rookie ball, and $1 million. So I guess that was the best thing we got so far. Anyway, let's go. Game 1. Let's see what the rotation looks like. Looks like they're throwing Ohtani game 1. Looks like they also got Montas, Wes Parsons, and Kai Busch. So if we can survive Ohtani and we get to those last 2 guys, I think we have a shot here. So Cole Henry against Ohtani, game 1. And we win 6-2. That's huge. Cole Henry, 6 1/3, 2 runs. What a postseason he's had. And we rough up Ohtani. He walks 6 guys. Buxton, 3 ribbies, 2 hits. Vasquez continues to rake. Home runs, we had Polanco, Correa. Oh, never mind, this total bases. Polanco hit a home run at least, 2-run shot. So, game 2, we'll have Max Fried making his return to the mound against Wes Parsons. We take game 2, 10-3. Wallner has a massive game. Looks like he had a 3-run shot and 3 more ribbies besides that. The bottom of our order continues to play really well. The top of the order is getting into it too. Fried pitches well. Phillips to Hidalgo to finish it out. So we'll head to LA, up 2-0 here in the ALCS. Aaron Nola to throw game 3. He's all set to go. Let's do it. We lose 9-5. And Braxton Lee, Polanco with a couple hits. Shoemake looks like had a grand slam. Nola really roughed up in the bullpen. Really no chance there. So game 4, game 2 in LA. I think it's the second playoff in a row I did that. We win 4-2, go up 3-1 in the series. Correa a couple of hits, Wallner a couple of hits, 3 ribbies. Looks like he had a solo shot, and Correa also had a solo shot. So the opener thing worked. Ober pitches well, Hidalgo opens, and Duran closes. So there you go, the reliever sandwich. We head to the elimination game here. Cole Henry on the mound, looking to continue his great string of starts here in the playoffs. And we lose 5-4 in 10 innings. Looks like Duran blew it against Ohtani on a solo shot. Ohtani pitches really well. At least he got deep into the game, I should say. Wasn't particularly great, but Brooks Lee had a homer, and Polanco hit his 4th of the postseason. For some reason, we pinch hit Emmanuel Rodriguez for Carlos Correa. It's an interesting choice. And also pinch hit Jose Miranda, who's done nothing this postseason. So we're still up 3-2, I believe. Going back to Minnesota. We're up 3-2. So Max Fried to start. We'll have Nola if we need him for the last game, and we lose 7-4. They get 3 in the top of the 10th, and looks like Shoemake had a 3-run double. And Fried pitches okay, but Duran's been a little shaky this postseason, and that's not good to see. And now we come back to Minnesota. We stay in Minnesota for the elimination game here, and it'll be Frankie Montas against our ace Aaron Nola to go to the World Series, and we lose 5-2. So second year in a row, I think we made it to Game 7 of the ALCS, and the second year in a row, we lose it. So Nolo was really not good. Efros came in, and Cantonero. We just couldn't hit Montas, and there you go. That's the 2025 season. A disappointing end, but honestly, we had a pretty good run for how we started. If you just want to go back and look what a brutal April, May, June it looked like, and it was not looking good. We lost our star player. Came out in July and crushed it. August we were even better somehow. In September we continued to roll. In October we went undefeated. There's worse ways to end the season, I guess. We could have not made the playoffs at all. But yeah, disappointing. We have a lot of decisions to make this offseason. But we overperformed our Pythagorean win-loss by 6 games. That's not surprising considering we were not as good of a team as we were last year. Our pitching regressed to about how they were in 2023. And we really never had a 4th and a 5th starter this season. Besides these 3, it's like a hosh-posh of whoever I can find to throw in there. So hopefully another year for Huang. He can step in and be our 4, or maybe even our 3. Who knows? But that's the end of the season. So I think this is a longer episode, so maybe I'll do the off-season in the next one. But I might also continue it here, so depending on the length. So yeah, I'll either see you next episode or in a second.